Hey gang, this is Internet Friend. What you're hearing right now, if you guys understand French, that is apparently French. I have a very hard time understanding it. Hey gang, this is Internet Friend. I'm probably echoing. What you're hearing right now, I am echoing. I'm so sorry. I was not prepared for this weekend. Basically, the morning started off quiet, and I kept staying quiet. I'm like, I'm going to have the evening to relax, and then it quickly became obvious that I would not get to relax. Realistically, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a lot to report on because there weren't a lot of messages today. But as you guys can see in the chat box, I've put up a poll. I think it's a fair question. You know, my theory yesterday was very much, we're going to have a lot of messages, and if I don't hear anything today, then that just tells me, you know, it was folks getting ready to go home for the weekend. But I think now we have a fair counter question. Was that actually getting prepared for the events today? So if you're not aware, what's going on right now is, well, it's pretty much over, but there was some Israeli drone strikes on Iranian ammunition factories, I believe a couple oil refineries, and that was just a couple hours ago. And if you look at the list of messages I've got up for you there, most of those are from yesterday, right? We went almost a full day without any messages, because as far as what was broadcast today, it was just the one. And in a sense, I could leave it that way, right? Like, we just heard the one message. But as far as why this stream is up, so a few things. I do want to test how my computer handles streaming two of these at once, and the answer, as you can see on the left, it looks like it's really struggling. It's like chugging to handle two at once. So I gotta think if there's anything I can do about this. This is a fairly decent computer. I bought it a few months ago, so there's no immediate hardware upgrades I can think to do. The second thing is just give you guys a chance to talk about what you think is going on. It'll be very much directed by user comments. And I'm catching up myself. Like, I kind of saw a few tweets about it, and then I realized there's a lot going on. As far as those voices you heard, so I didn't get to finish my thought. On the weekends, it is very common to hear what I understand to be French voices on 8992 kilohertz. I've read in the past that these are transmissions that are coming from France, generally presumed to be related to NATO. I think if you look in YouTube records for yourself, you know, later on, I would say tomorrow, would be a good time to look through that if you're curious. It's generally assumed to be NATO. There have been clearer transmissions in the past you can listen to, and the assumption is the US allows them to use the frequency because they tend to not use it much over the weekend. But definitely on the day like today, you're gonna have people wondering why they're on right now, what they're talking about. I speak a little bit of French, but it's not a great signal. it's never a great signal. I've never been able to tune in and get a good signal. As I said, this is going to be mostly comments driven. So how serious is what's going on in Iran? I will put up a couple Twitter posts shortly. Justin asking, did they say warning? That would be in relation to the stream of 8992. I'm not sure. I can never understand them clearly enough. The cadence sounds French to me, but other than that, I'm never able to pick up any words. Don is saying, let me see here what we can do here to get you guys a little bit more involved in today's stream. No, that's not what I want to do. Browser. How's that gonna look? I gotta get the link. Oh, I have no control of that window, do I? Well, I'm gonna have to close the poll to get to see people's comments, because I can put that window up, but I can't read comments. So in terms of were yesterday's messages related to today's events, out of the 28 folks who have responded so far, 39% feel yes, absolutely. 6% of you feel very confident that it's not related, and a little over half of you are not sure. And I would say I'm in the same boat. I'm not sure. So now we can see how folks are thinking. So if you guys have any questions you want to pop up, just put them in there. Hopefully no one comes in causing any trouble, but you guys can get involved. So just scrolling up earlier to some of the other comments. Don commented, no way of telling how big it is yet. Things have been blowing up there on a regular basis for a year or so. If there were multiple attacks on major cities, that would be an escalation. Just no confirmation. I mean, so I'm gonna get to the next question. Do we know for sure who's attacking it? Whether it's Israel? Let's window capture. Give me a minute here. Actually, while I'm loading some stuff for you guys, I want to put up some information, because I know many of you in my audience follow him. NY Prepper put out a couple announcements today. He's been hit with a copyright strike by YouTube. He's going to try and appeal it, but he will not be broadcasting on YouTube for the next week or so unless his appeal is successful. So if you guys want to follow him along, he will be on Rumble. Just go on rumble.com, type in NY Prepper in the search bar, and you're going to find him there. He's uploaded a couple of his old videos, and I imagine he'll be on there. But give me a moment here, because there's a lot of fair questions about who's doing this, what's going on, and I'm finding this out with you guys in real time. So I'm going to put up a Twitter account. This is one of the many accounts that I follow on Twitter. If you guys are on there, I would definitely suggest that you follow them along. But this person, as you can see, this is... Where should I put this on the screen? I'm going to temporarily block the European stream, and we'll put it back up after. Definitely a good account. Twitter.com/Victor Charlie Delta Golf Foxtrot 555. They are Evergreen Intel, and this is basically the account I saw and found out everything that's going on here. So, let's see. There have been no less than 7 large cities struck this evening. My understanding is these have all been kamikaze drones, so they're pretty much flying right into the targets, but we're going to read through and find out if I'm correct. And, you know, we're seeing comments here. I can't show the cussing on YouTube as far as I know. So they've been doing some geolocation based on some videos and streams. Is that gonna load for us correctly? No, it's not. So this is an oil refinery in Iran that was hit. Video there. So that's what it looks like when an oil refinery burns, right, gang? Is that showing up for us okay? Not perfect. Kind of off-center. So this is a big one. This kind of acknowledgement from Iran, because I guess from this tweet they usually don't acknowledge that this happened. So to be clear, well, first of all, it's interesting because Iran is saying that the drone attack wasn't successful. I mean, from the videos that we're seeing, it would look successful to you, me, and anyone else. So it's an unusual choice. But I guess this is kind of a step up because they'll often claim that nothing even happened. So they're acknowledging something happened tonight. We've got some more videos. And again, that's where then we get into the geolocation. Evergreen Intel. Highly recommend that account. Lots of good information. We might come back to Twitter momentarily. So we're just looking through the comments here. Yeah, oh no, NY Prepper. Like I said, he said he's going to be on Rumble. I'm not a big fan of Rumble. I feel like their algorithm is somehow even worse than YouTube's. But we'll see how he does. I'm gonna, so that beeping every minute or so, if someone actually wants to time that, because I'd like to know if they are, like, evenly spaced out. I was actually I don't usually listen to this frequency from the European antenna, but it sounds like the beeping is coming every now and again. So let's see. Lori's asking me, what do I think if I had to guess? I mean, obviously, yesterday I was saying, to me, it just sounds like there's a lot of messages maybe related to drills and exercises that they were supposed to get done by the end of the month or something. But I know a lot of other streamers are going to say, definitely what we heard yesterday is preparing for today's event. And I think, you know, it was on Wednesday. We had the joint training exercise between the United States and Israel. Juniper Oak is the name of that exercise. Is it a coincidence that, shortly after that we have this happening? I mean, the one thing, as far as I know, everyone is saying that this is definitely an Israeli thing, but have they actually claimed responsibility? We'll look into that right now. Yeah, I guess as it sounds, Israel has not claimed responsibility for this yet. If anyone wants to verify that, I don't know, right? Like I said, I mainly focus on the messages and then scramble to figure out the news after the fact, so I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I don't want to offend anyone by assuming that just because everyone else is saying Israel did it, that definitely Israel did it. That's what I will personally assume, but in terms of streaming and let you guys know for information, no one is claimed it's them yet. And if that changes, I will continue to check. Yeah, I mean, Israel wouldn't claim even if they did it. That's the other problem. But if we see any, I guess, evidence? Definitely. Yeah, I'm seeing tweets where people are saying, breaking news, all in caps. So this is, I'm going through this in real time. Iran reports drone attack on defense facility in Isfahan. Drones attacked an Iranian defense factory in the central city of Isfahan overnight, the state-run news agency reported early Sunday. Did not say who is suspected of carrying out the attack. And then the Iran State TV separately talked about the oil refinery fire that we saw. And, the speculation, even from reputable news sources, from irreputable news sources, everyone is thinking it's Israel. So that's what you're going to hear from most sources. I just wanted to kind of get people's thoughts on the messages. So, I've already talked about it a little bit. Before that, Crab asked, would it be far-fetched to suggest that this could be Iran's people rebelling against the government? There's plenty of scenarios here that are possible. I think that's a bit much. I don't know how they're going to... usually protests and rebellions are one thing, but if you're using drones to strike oil refineries and ammunition factories, that would be like your own military rebelling against you. So I open to all speculation, but I think if that was happening, there would be a definitely different cadence to this news. So I wouldn't say that's quite it. But in terms of the messages, I mean, if people want to speculate that yesterday's messages were preparation for today's events, and I've heard that kind of thing again, it would match kind of the idea that these messages come in advance, and then whenever anything's not suspicious, but you know what I'm trying to say, whenever anything happens globally, they suddenly go quiet. Um, I don't know about that. I'm not sure. It could be that shortwave radio is kind of the first phase of a multi-phase communication system. As Justin has said in the chat there, shortwave EAMs are about one method of secure comms and coordination. Could well be. But it could be both, right? It could have been very busy yesterday because they wanted to make sure that they were ready for today while still planning for the fact that they'll have reduced personnel over the weekends. It's hard to really know because in scenarios like this, it's tough. I mean, it's always tough, but yeah. As mentioned earlier, those sounds are believed to be NATO using the frequency with American blessing, I guess you could say. But what I'm gonna do is because I'm catching this all up myself in real time as well. It'll mostly just be a stream of the two frequencies, and I'm just going to run it a little bit because I just want to get that information out for anyone who's kind of wondering what's going on. And we'll have the chat box out, and as I find interesting news, I will share it with you guys. How does that sound? So just from browsing a few sources, I'm thinking things are pretty much quieted down. A lot of folks are saying, whatever has happened has happened. So what I might do, it's up to you guys, but that noise that you're hearing is mainly coming from the European antenna. There's a lot of background noise there, and that pinging that we were hearing earlier, if that was meaningful, pretty much done. And again, with the presumed French speech, you're never able to hear anything else. So if there's no major objections, I'm thinking we just, I'm not going to run this stream too long anyways. It was pretty much a test to see how it would handle streaming the two signals, and the answer is not too well. Are we okay with shutting down the European antenna, guys? What do we think? All right. I'm hearing one okay. I'm hearing no major objections. If someone really wants it back, we can always bring it back, right? So I'm gonna shut that fella off. So Don is saying, I think if it were Israel, they would have gone for nuclear facilities, reactors, centrifuges, not oil and weapons. Too much risk for no reward. We might find out later those facilities were hit. And a couple of you folks are thinking along similar lines. So let us expand that a bit. So just to recap, because I'm going to run this to 10 o'clock Eastern. What is that, 7 p.m. Pacific time? If you're in the European, just to the bottom of the hour, the next 25 minutes. We went almost 24 hours with no emergency action messages, a couple test messages, and then a 2-4, which I personally don't put a lot of stock into. But, it follows the 31 messages we had yesterday. It follows the operation on Wednesday, the joint exercise, and the internet is collectively speculating. The emphasis there would be speculating, as I have there. Unsubstantiated reports and rumors. We have no confirmation yet. Just speculation. And for the most part, it's going to be speculation. Israel, as has been mentioned, does not typically confirm. I don't think they ever confirm that they've done anything, right? But that's the betting man's guess. That's where his money is going, and you guys, I guess I would be curious if you're not thinking it's Israel, what would be the alternatives? What are the follow-ups that we're speculating on here? Because I will say I don't think this would be internal unrest. I don't think you would have that ambiguous announcement from their defense PR department there. It's gotta be Israel. Yeah, it's definitely weird. That message from them is not how they usually handle these things. Okay, Paul, it could be a false flag to get Russia involved. I don't think Russia would be getting involved in that even in a good day. I think they would be stepping very carefully, but right now, I think it would just be too much on their plate for them to even try and tackle that. But just that thing that we're discussing, this is unusual. And this is just so we know where this information is coming from. Jason Brodsky, Policy Director at the UANI. And that is United Against Nuclear Iran, not-for-profit, nonpartisan organization that seeks to prevent Iran from fulfilling its ambition to obtain nuclear weapons. Not familiar myself, but you want to know where you're getting things from. So they're confirming a drone attack happened tonight on one of its facilities, but claims it was unsuccessful. Could be an excuse to avoid retaliation. So I'm gonna feel reasonably confident saying I don't think it's a false flag. If it was a false flag, I think they would be much more boisterous, loud about what's happened, because they'd be, you're trying to get people dragged into the conflict with you. So if you're downplaying it, that's not usually how it works with a false flag, right? It's not a very good casus belli if it's not a big deal. So whatever happened, I'm gonna say happened. But it's fair game to point out that we don't know for sure who has done this. And I'll leave this up. Just at the bottom there, the message from NY Prepper on Twitter that he has moved to Rumble. Because I know many of my audience were recommended by him. I'm a fan of him. When I can watch his live streams, I do. So we'll leave that up so that everyone's aware. One person is saying, I feel that a false flag would benefit more from civilian targets rather than military. Yeah, I guess that would kind of be the opposite of what Don was thinking, because Don is thinking if you're going to do something, you want to target nuclear facilities, reactors, big money targets in terms of your managing your risk reward. I don't know myself, but definitely in terms of the choice of target, that's going to be interesting. In terms of the timing, highly speculative, but it follows, the largest joint training exercise between the United States and Israel of all time. That comes from the U.S. military's own statements. I believe I'm more or less quoting verbatim. That they kind of presented that as such to the general public as the largest joint training exercise, and as a show of continued support for the U.S.-Israeli partnership. So people who are speculating that it's Israel, they're going to see that as a strong point of support for that. I'm gonna say I have no idea, right? I'm the message guy. I'm mainly on here to tell you there were not too many messages today. There were not too many messages today. There were obviously a lot of messages yesterday. I'm cool on whether messages broadcast 24 hours ago are going to correspond to events, 28 hours later approximately. Yeah, you're very welcome for the info on NY Prepper. I assume he'll be putting out a live stream or something over the next week. On his Rumble. Mr. Landfill, how is everyone? Yeah, I'm myself. I'm pretty good. I was hoping for a quiet Saturday. I was gearing up to do some software testing on a spare laptop, and then all this happened. So instead, I had to do the test on the main laptop. Oh boy. Let's leave that up. So just in the background here, I'm still browsing. A lot of the same footage is being shared, just of that the fire. Speculation everywhere. Some people are reporting that definitely it was Israel, but we just don't see it, right? There's no way to say with 100% confidence. So got a video there from 3 hours ago. Smoke in Tehran. So I will say, as I'm browsing the timeline right now, take all this with a grain of salt. Outside of the Twitter accounts that I opened with at the top, not very familiar with all of these, but I'm going to leave the address bar there for those inclined to do a little bit of investigating themselves. But highly speculative right now. Only thing I'm going to give you with confidence is that, the messages and the number of them. But, let's do a little bit of browsing for the next 10 minutes and see what we find. So this account is claiming Saturday night. So a lot of U.S. activity pretty close to the Iraq-Syria borders. Deconfirmation of explosions. Now, but I will say most people are saying that whatever has happened is done. I saw someone pretty much saying they're in Iran and they're going to bed because it's late and they're not expecting too much more to happen. The other thing, and this is kind of a tangent, but I'm curious, the Intel Frog, love this guy, and I'm going to have to scroll down to find it. Is anyone familiar with the earthquake in Florida yesterday that wasn't? And it may have been another Twitter account, actually. This is the message I was thinking of. So, and this is not related to everything going on right now. Yeah, it's 6 a.m. in Tehran. Of course, folks are going to bed. But I found this interesting when I came across it. And this is the source on this one. And it says, yesterday there was a quote-unquote seismic anomaly along the Gulf coastline with Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. And seismic anomaly is because basically people heard, the rumbling of an earthquake and they felt the shaking of an earthquake. But officially, the United States Geological Survey did not say anything about an earthquake. And people asked the U.S. military whether they had been doing anything. They're going to deny it, obviously. But a lot of people reported it. If it wasn't an earthquake, it's fair to just evenly say that the USGS also acknowledged. If it's not an earthquake, it could be a meteorite. It could be a sonic boom from something. But that's interesting. I'm curious if anyone is in Florida, knows anyone in Florida, if they have any insight on that. But Isaiah, you're joining us pretty much well after whatever happened. So as you can see there, I do have a screenshot up for you, and we went through a very quick recap. So this evening there were drone strikes in about 7 cities in Iran, highly speculated to be Israel, but Israel never confirms that they do these things. There is no evidence pointing towards Israel, so highly speculative. Some of the folks in the comments here think, I think we're thinking we don't know. That's the honest answer, right? But happy to hear folks' speculation. But yeah, that is the only concrete news we have. We have some footage of oil refineries on fire. We have some footage of ammunition factories being hit. But that is now over. As just said, it's now 6 a.m. in Iran. It ended a couple hours ago. U.S. Emergency action messages, we only had the one today. Did anyone see the video supposedly out of Iran that shows bright flashes followed by shaking? So I've not seen that one myself, but it's good to keep in mind during times like this, especially on Twitter. I'm not sure where you saw this, but I've noticed on Twitter, people will upload all of old videos and say it's related to what's going on right now. And why they do that, I don't know if they're spreading misinformation as such, so much as they're trying to get people to click, retweet, and follow them because they're getting those engagement numbers. It's not helpful, obviously. I'm not defending it. It annoys me, but I don't think they're trying to spread fake news, as it were. But I think they're being useless. But this video, I haven't seen it, so I'm not sure. Everything tonight, please take with a grain of salt. I'm exploring this with you guys pretty much in real time, and as we've seen, the answer is there. Everything is happening everywhere all at once in terms of folks sharing information, but being able to verify. The, shall we say, fog of war is clouding it. Yeah, Twitter. I don't know if you've got the link. I'm happy to put it up. Although I don't know if you can post links in the chat box. I'm not super sure. Give it a shot. I found this video interesting, if I'm able to put it back up. So this says, Tehran at 2:19 local time, a glowing light was spotted on southern Tehran skies, and it led to scrambles. Are you guys able to see that video? Is that working for you? No, it's not working. Let's try and refresh that. There we go. Oh, that's the video you were thinking of, yeah. So this is actually the one I had in mind, because I'm curious about this. Because I would like to know if this is true, or whether this is some old content that someone's reposting. So this has been retweeted by... No, it's my turn. Posted by... No, it's my turn. It's being retweeted by reputable accounts. I think it's fair to say it's legitimate. I think. And this is another one. So this is someone, we heard numerous aircraft taking off. We're relatively close to the Mehrabad airport. So yeah, what happened to NY Prepper? So I saw him post on Twitter today, and in the comments of his latest video, that he was hit with a strike from YouTube for one of his older videos. So he will be on Rumble. If you go to rumble.com, type in NY Prepper in the search bar, you should be able to find him. And let him know that I'm sharing that information with folks to make sure that we're all following him along as he does anything. What else have we got here? Tehran aerial activity. The airport has no in-outbound flights due to the close distance to the city. These are photos I've seen from a few people. There were unknown aircraft. Now, is that an Iranian aircraft that's being scrambled to... Oh, there's a video related to the earthquake from yesterday? I know it's not related to what's going on right now, but... So this is an earthquake that happened in Iran. I didn't even know about this. Is this this is a Saturday night local time. This would have been about 5 hours before the strikes, from the looks of it. Just before the earthquake. So, I mean, definitely, I can find in a few news agencies the earthquake happened. As far as vouching for any individual video, not super sure. Let's take that down temporarily. Yeah, I'm just gonna stream for another few minutes. I wasn't planning this being a very long stream. So check out Rumble afterwards. Find NY Prepper and just put in the comments there that you found him. Let him know that you're following him. I'm sure he wants to make sure that everyone's keeping up with him, right? And just to follow up, because I really find this yesterday, this seismic activity in Florida, the one explained, but just following up, so it looks like this person spoke to a Richard Cordaro with a PhD in physics, and the thought seems to be that it occurred above ground, and reads like a meteor exploded off the coast of Florida. May not have been visible due to daytime, but if you were in Florida, I guess if you were in Alabama, you might have felt it. I think that's neat. But not related to today, so we'll put that aside for now. So, yeah, I'm going to call that the end of the stream. As far as emergency action, let's do a quick recap. As far as emergency action messages, you can see in the top right, we went almost 24 hours with nothing. I heard a single message today at 20:37, and that was a single message for the 28th because it is technically already the 29th when you go by military time. And that single message would have been about 5 hours before the drone attacks in Iran this evening. Lots of speculation regarding what those strikes were. So 7 cities across the country, military facilities, oil refineries, ammunition factories were hit. The Iranian Ministry of Defense confirmed that that happened. They claimed it's unsuccessful, but video footage online suggests, you see the fireballs, you see the buildings. Definitely successful, I would say. And finally, for my audience, I want to let you guys know about NY Prepper. And other than that, short stream, don't have anything else planned. So I'll let you guys go to check out Rumble, check out other news sources, take a look for yourself. As always, thanks for showing up. And let folks know about this channel, and expect a video from me, if not tomorrow, then on Monday. Thanks very much for watching. Bye, guys.